Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My today's video is actually, I think, the most important video of my this video series of me advocating my children. In this video, I'm talking about the relationship of husband and wife in front of their kids. We Pakistani families sometimes don't realize how important it is for our kids to see us as parents having a great relationship with each other. When we argue in front of our kids, of course, it's marriage. Marriage is hard. It takes lots of hard work, lots of compromises. I'm not saying we're perfect. And if there's, as they say, if there is no argument in marriage, that means it's just a compromise. The love isn't there. Love doesn't exist. I don't know how true that is. But I kind of think it might be true, because when you argue only when you have exchange of ideas and you are actually communicating with each other, that means you still have that connection. That's why you're fighting with each other, I guess. But if you're not fighting, that means you're probably never even talking on any serious topics in your life. You're not even exchanging a dialogue with each other. You're not even discussing any of your family issues that you might have, which causes everybody to be just, oh, I'm quiet, I'm going to do my thing, and she's going to do her thing, etc. So this video is all about us as a parent having the relationship um, that gives our kids the security that their house is intact. There's lots of research done on families who come from on kids who come from broken family versus who come from family where father and mother are living under the same roof, and they have seen a significant difference in their thought process, in their mental health, even in their physical health. So you might be living under one roof, but you may not have the relationship that kids are expecting to see between their mom and dad. Especially when we live in this society where they go to their friend's house and they are hugging and kissing and holding hands, and they're watching TV together, and husband is cooking and wife is just sitting enjoying her dinner. In these families, none of that happens oftentimes. It kind of makes your children wonder, are my parents are gonna even stay together? I remember once my husband and I were arguing about something, and my son was very young at the time, and he's a very sensitive boy when it comes to, he's a very family-oriented kid, and he's very sensitive to lots of things. And he was, I think, only 3 years old, and we argued about something, and suddenly I got mad and I raised my voice, and my son goes, uh-oh, uh-oh. And I just looked at him and I was like, I shouldn't have raised my voice. And he still remembers this. He's in high school now, mashallah, and he still remembers. And he says, oh, I remember when you guys were fighting, I thought you guys were gonna get divorced. That's how insecure our children feel when we argue in front of our kids. He's a very expressive boy, a very expressive young man. He tells everything. Some kids may not. I'm sure my daughter felt the same way, threatened when I was arguing with my husband, but she is not the kind of person who would express every feeling that she has. And lots of Desi children, children coming from Indian, Pakistani subcontinent region, they usually don't express those kind of feelings to their parents because they don't think they're allowed to. So when your children come home, and if both parents are home, make sure you are in a good mood. You have solved all your issues before your children get home. And even if you do have issues continuing, make sure you don't express any aggression in front of your kids, because that will make them very insecure, and they're constantly thinking that, oh, my parents are gonna get divorced, my parents are gonna get divorced. And then one time, just to test my son, I was just messing with him, and I said, what if we do get divorced? And he said, oh, mama, please don't. I can't do this, so I'm going to my mom's house or my dad's house. I just don't live in one house with both my parents. That's how scared that boy is of us getting divorced. So alhamdulillah, we have wonderful marital relationship. We have wonderful life. But we are husband and wife. We have our moments and we do argue, but as we're aging, we do realize uh, that all those things don't have to be expressed all the time, and particularly not in front of the kids. So if you're a young parent, which I know when you're very young and you have kids and you have jobs, um, us as a parent, we have less self-control, or maybe we're just so tired and we're just exhausted and we just somebody just pushes one button and we just want to take all that exhaustion out on our husband or wife. It's very common and it's very normal. But I'm telling you from my experience, it really makes our children very insecure in their own home. Sometimes my husband and I, we just sit on the couch and watch TV in one blanket, and my son loves that. So there was a time that my husband would come home really late, and then I would go to sleep before him, and then it was a weekend, and I was sitting there with the blanket on, and I was watching something on the TV, and my husband came and sat next to me. And this is how I know that how my son loves it. He said, "Oh my God, you guys are sitting together after so long in one blanket." And I was thinking to myself, like, wow, he actually notices everything about us, you know? So I'm sure my daughter does too. But my daughter is not the kind of person who would just go ahead and express everything in words. But she does often send me some video clips. She actually sent me one yesterday where there was some Bollywood music playing on in the back. And in the caption, it said, they see parents think they're so in love after they have a big argument and traumatize their kids. And I was like, do you actually get traumatized when you argue? She said, everybody does. I was like, but we don't argue anymore. She goes, yeah, not anymore, but you guys used to. So as I said, when we are young, you don't realize what you're doing, and that does affect our children's mental health. They feel insecure in their house, and they're always scared. They think, oh my God, what if my mom and dad get divorced? Oh my God, then who do I live with my mom or with my dad? Or sometimes I have to go to my mom's house, and sometimes I have to go to my dad's house, and they don't like that feeling. So when we're fighting with each other, even though it may not be serious, it may be just a casual argument, but it's making our children so insecure and it's affecting their mental health, and they're constantly worried. As a result, they can't do anything right because they're just so concerned about the safety of their household and their family. So please be very careful when you're arguing. Make sure you do it before your kids come home or after they go to sleep, or it's better if you just take some time out and both you and your husband go out for a drive or maybe go out for dinner and discuss your issues at lunch or dinner. That's better. We have done that in the past because when I realized that it really affects my kids, I used to either do it before my kids would come home, which was very rare because my husband was at work and I was at work. But then sometimes we'll just say, okay, let's go for a walk. And my husband and I will just leave the house, we'll go for a walk and we'll talk it out. And then sometimes we'll just go to a park on a weekend and we'll just argue there and we'll come home because I just didn't want to argue in front of my kids. And we've also done it at a lunch or dinner date as well. So it actually gives you a good opportunity to connect with each other and also give you a good opportunity to actually stay civilized. And because you're not inside the comfort of your own home, you're in public, so you are obviously more careful and you don't want to create a scene. So it's better that way. Then both parties will hear out other person's opinion about whatever issue you may have, and it could come to a better conclusion. So that's it for today's video. I just wanted to bring it up because I know us Desi parents don't really care much about those things, and we don't even realize how much it's affecting our children. Please give my video a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Please give your comments in the comment section below. Press the bell icon so my next video can reach you as soon as I upload it. Up until next time, Allah Hafiz.